So this is what I'm saying is going on with me as a targeted individual. So this is about Montalk.net guy who exposes all about alien agenda. And here he talks about all pervasive but hidden nature of alien control. So here he talks how UFO, it is not something that can be kept at an intellectual distance if you have neither seen a UFO nor know yourself to be an abductee. Aliens have no presence or influence in your life. In truth, aliens have a seeming omnipresence enabled by their interdimensionality that extends their influence not only into our homes but also into our minds. And this is exactly what I've been saying, that these aliens are nothing but jinn and demons, and these jinn and demons are invoked via witchcraft. And this is exactly what I'm saying, that all the synchronizations and super interrogations going on in my life, from the weird insect activity to all these cuts in my all these razor sharp cuts on my body, removal of eyelash, or giving me blocking my jaw, or giving me the pain in my right side of the neck, the electric shock on the right side of my head, eardrum pull on the right side of my ear ringing in the right side of my ear, and removal of eyelash in the right side of my eye, giving me burns on the cheek, on the right side of the cheek, or giving me not ulcers, but swelling of my tongue on the right side of my tongue. And anything on the right side means, oh, don't do this, don't do that, okay? All the purplish mark on my body, all these things is nothing but witchcraft now. And of course, the cutting off also all the items in my house. I told you, I've posted the video how they cut the laundry basket, and as if somebody chewed the wire of the what do you call that, the aromatherapy, and bursting of light bulbs everywhere in my house. So all this is done by witchcraft. And now, so here this is exactly what they are saying, that these aliens are into our homes and into our minds, because the only way to synchronize some events, and now they're continuously giving me twitching here, right here, as I'm speaking on this is right side of my hand. So they're like, oh, don't speak that, or whatever they want to say, okay? So basically, from all these synchronizations and for super interrogation purpose, the only way to synchronize two events with me and somebody else, somebody human figure, is to even hack my mind as well as hack the person's mind, and then to synchronize that event. That is exactly what CIA guy Robert Duncan says, who has published a book called Soul Catcher. Because why these demons and Jinn and Lucifer, all they want to catch souls? Because this is what they work for. Lucifer, all of these people, Satanism, it requires human sacrifice. Or there is some kind of purity in our soul that these aliens or jinn demons cannot take it, or they find us as a threat. So in truth, aliens have a seeming omnipresence enabled by their interdimensionality that extends their influence not only into our homes but also into our minds. And this is how they are doing all these so-called accidents and so-called murders and killing, like that guy who was talking about the George Floyd guy, right? There was a guy in Illinois, Chicago. He was saying that how his murder was part of the Purple Rain human sacrifice. And so how can a cop be so much under mind control that he's not even lifting his leg even after people shouting at him or warning him? So it is the same alien mind control program is going on here. Okay, so no one is immune to these except humans of zero interest or those with special tactical awareness who have taken full countermeasures. So yes, I'm aware of their agenda, their synchronization, super interrogations, and all that. And sometimes I already process what they will do or they will possibly do when I go to do something, and I've already uploaded that thing in my today's video also, that how do I know that they're going to do raving of the engine, or how do I know they're going to do ambulance sirens? Oh, that's all they want to say, that oh no, you won't be able to deposit your money here. Oh no, you shouldn't read this Dr. Thomas Horn's book, and we're going to start ambulance siren. Oh no, you don't cook this, we're going to have the raving of the engine going on. So even before, because I know their programming of mine, so I know what they will do, but how they are doing it, because they are reading my mind. And so here he says, being useful of or threatening to the agenda of even one alien faction will attract their attention, which leads to subsequent covert monitoring and influencing. And this is what I'm saying. They are monitoring me 24/7, 365 days. They are doing remote viewing. And then they are giving me all these directed energy weapons or witchcraft, voodoo, whatever, that Dr. Richard Boylan talks about in his own. See, now they are giving me this twitch on the left side of my thigh, saying that, oh yeah, we are doing directed energy weapons because we are the Star Kids, and right here, because we are the threat to the UFO cabal, they use all these directed energy weapons to evade, confuse, disassemble, so as to throw the StarKids or StarSeeds reading of the special forces operating and how to counter our psychic ability with countervailing psychic force or psychotronic or other directed energy weapon devices, and how to break them and super interrogate them. So when they are doing raving of the engine, or they are doing this twitch, or they are giving me burns or swelling or stones in my food, or killing somebody in my family members, or having them fall down, or accidents, just for their super interrogation. But oh, we are the special forces, all we are doing is doing improbable synchronizations, as CIA guy Robert Duncan says, and oh, we are the Delta Force, we are the SEALs, Green Berets, Delta Force, who are NSA, who are involved in Operation Stargazer. So yeah, we are doing all this for super interrogation purpose, and they are trying to break us, of course. Why? Because the cabal, the Stark Force white tail, is that the cabal foresees and is actively planning for the day when the UFO cover-up falters, and it is necessary to round up starseeds who could cause the cabal trouble, and to interdict and subdue any star visitors who are on ground. So that is all we've been continuously doing all this. Okay, so now let's go. As mentioned, aliens can lurk nearby while invisible. Now they started to give me a little bit electric shocks on the right side of my head. Here, this is important. So they have no logical limitations concerning whom or how many to target. Okay. So basically, yeah, they do keep on targeting people. Okay. And now they are still giving me electric shock on the right side of my brain as I'm speaking this. So either they don't want me to, now they are giving me more and more electric shock on the right side of my brain, because these aliens, Lucifer, is getting threatened by me when I'm exposing all this. As mentioned, now they're giving me more and more electric shock on the right side of my brain as I'm making this video. As mentioned, aliens can lurk nearby while invisible. So who are these aliens? Aliens are not invisible. It's the jinn and demons that they invoke via witchcraft. In physics terminology, this happens when they have not yet fully rotated themselves into our dimension. Now they are giving me electric shock again as I'm reading. Their quantum wave functions have not fully collapsed into our reality, or their quantum phases are not fully locked into our own. In occult terminology, now why this alien guy, the aliens who have given all these signs to the so-called Area 51 and Delta Force, why is he talking about occult? Why? Because these people do witchcraft. That is why he's talking about occult now, okay? In occult terminology, this happens when they manifest within the etheric plane without condensing fully into the physical. So obviously they are operating, and I see, even right now I saw these, I can see these energies that move around, and they look like, if you have seen the Predator movie, you know how you have seen that translucent thing just moving in the jungle or somewhere within the woods. That is exactly what I see, is something like translucent thing moving away from my side, away from my face, or not. It's not inside my eyesight, it's away, it's outside in the atmosphere. I see. Okay. The etheric is a transitionary boundary layer between the physical and non-physical, functioning as an invisible substratum to the physical world, but containing energy, beings, and constructs that influence the physical at the quantum level. Think of it as a backstage to our reality. So, in this invisible or etheric state, aliens can monitor targets without normally being noticed. So like I said, they're monitoring me continuously. And so these devils will immediately attack me. Like I said yesterday, even I ran a little bit the car over the curb, and that's my hubby said that you don't back up and it's okay. Just, take the car, just go over the curb, because the curb was very smoothened out. It was nicely curved, so there was no threat to the tires. So it's like, just go and don't back up right now. And that is to synchronize that thing. They had my brother do the same thing after my event was done, and then I already knew that they will either give me puncture in my car or somebody in my family members. And sure enough, when I spoke today with my brother, he said that, oh, they had a puncture in their car. Or else, how did I know? If they are not doing super interrogation and synchronizations and dictation purpose and to make me feel guilty for every single thing, if that is the programming not done for past 10, 20 years, how do I know? Because this is exactly what they've been doing with me. Alien can monitor targets, okay? And then by getting close to their targets, they can more effectively project strong thoughts into person's subconscious, giving him impulses, ideas, inspirations that he will take as his own and act upon unless he questions their origins and rationality. This is called the induced thoughts, induced dreams, induced speech. And that is exactly what yesterday we noticed, that we went to this place that was totally new for us. And so the parking was the way it was. So there's like a parking lot here, but all I read was big do not enter sign. So I'm like, I cannot enter here. So I kept going straight and I went here, and then we figured out that there is no other entry to the park. So I had to like come back here, and the road here was quite narrow. So I was trying to go here, but it was very short, narrow round, and I had to take it, and my hubby didn't want me to back it up, so it's like, just take it, it's fine. So they made everything, like I said, these aliens, these witchcraft, these entities, when they invoke, they go into the mind of even my brother's mind, and they can do all these things into their subconscious, impulses, ideas, inspirations. All this was planted even in his brain to do the same thing. He also ran over curb, but to him they gave puncture, which I had already processed in my brain, because I know what is going on with synchronizations and super interrogation purpose. And now they're giving me twitch on the left side of the hand again, to confirm the same. And that is exactly what they did accident to my hubby, and that is exactly how they gave accident to me. They in fact have made me fallen asleep totally by giving me a lot of pressure in my brain, in my head. It's artificially induced pressure and induced sleep. They can do everything, all these people. So a lot of the accidents you see on road, or the murders or killing, is not even natural. All this is being done by these very entities who take, and that is why Yuval Noah Harari said that forget it, human beings are hackable animals, and this is exactly how they're hacking the brain. They enter into person's subconscious, give them impulses, ideas, inspirations, and they will take as his own and act upon unless he questions their origins and rationality. They can reach into a person's body and manipulate his or her chakras and etheric energy circuits to affect anything from enhanced or diminished psychic abilities to emotional and mental imbalance and physical illnesses. Now, I just told you how they blocked my poop today and they wanted to make issue. So they started to give me rectum pain in my, needle pain in my rectum. And then to further synchronize, they had one of my family members just write a sentence to fix your holes. So why would he suddenly write like something like that in the message? Obviously, he's writing with reference to some of the videos that were forwarded in our group. But you see how they manipulate his mind, his subconscious is manipulated, and he's given all these ideas, inspirations, impulses, all these thoughts are implanted so that he writes down these kind of sentences or fix your holes, and that exactly resonates or is synchronized with these people giving me shooting needle pain in my rectum and at the same time blocking my poop, because this is how they do. And even yesterday, for example, I was washing all the plates before we were to head out to go to a different city. Now while washing, I think there was splash of some soap on my face, and so I just washed my face with the soap. I wiped it down, and then I had my moisturizer that I always have. But these people wanted to make issue about that, so they suddenly started to give me some kind of sore throat. I'm like, I did not drink water, I did not taste any of that, and there was absolutely no problem. I just had my breakfast, the regular tea and snacks that I always have. So there was absolutely not like I ate anything stale or with anything bad, nothing. So why would suddenly, but they did for until the drive was almost 1.5 hour drive. So they did it for that entire time until, we reached the restaurant, we ate there. So this is what they do. They can set in these physical illnesses too. But they are all induced just for synchronizations and super interrogation purpose. And even they block the right side of my neck just because probably they had some problem in me saying something to them or me saying something to my hubby. They wanted to make issue, they made it. Then targets may also receive etheric implants, etheric gadgetry attached to them externally, and etheric devices or observation booths installed into their homes for monitoring and influencing purposes. Now, I said they have turned on the TV so many times without us even in the room, but just to dictate. And I have recorded that in my live video. I was making a video, I was in my office, and they turned on the TV right when I said that these people can turn on the TV. Okay. And right now in my living room, but see, the TV is not on. Okay. So yeah, they, like I said, they bursted out so many light bulbs. They would turn on, turn off, a lot of stuff, in my house. So obviously, it's quite possible that they are doing all this. Now, what is etheric implants? Etheric implants is nothing but witchcraft, where they invoke these energies, spirits, and they just put it inside me. And because I have these witchcraft symptoms, so they said that if somebody has done black magic on you, you can see these black, you know how you see those little dots, but it's translucent dots. When you look in the air, you keep moving your eyes and you'll see that little hairy kind thing which is translucent, like transparent kind of thing that you see moving, but that will turn into black. So when that happens, a black magic is done on you. And of course your eyes will tell you. So I can tell even from my eyes that it's not normal. And so, yeah, definitely there's some witchcraft done on me. And that is why Jehovah's Witness came to take my own handwritten name, you know. That is why they came here to target my home for 2 years. And the other Satanists, as Almas Jacob has already exposed them. Now, all these implants are, so the implants is nothing but invoking witchcraft and just having these spirits inside your body. So that is their implants, okay? These capabilities can be scaled up to allow alien bases to coexist on top of the physical human military base or airports, or dimensionally shifted and thus overlapping, seeming occupying the same three-dimensional space. These things occur beyond the perceptual reach of normal waking consciousness and the detectability of standard recording devices or scientific instruments. Animals can perceive etheric activities, as can clairvoyants with second sight. Individuals awakening from sleep into a brief hypnopompic state, and those whose consciousness has been chemically detuned from physical reality through hallucinogens. Etheric beings and devices may also show up symbolically in dreams, although dreams alone are not a reliable indicator of what is happening in the etheric environment. Now, energy harvesting and implants. This is what is I've also heard from Tanuj Sudan, from this Moses Darlington, this guy. Okay, Moses Darlington Moses guy. That we are he also says that StarSeeds are source consciousness carriers, and this makes them to be targeted by the soulless who needs source energy. So we are the people who have the source energy, and so what they are doing is harvesting energy from me, and that is why I've turned so pale, so much totally pale, like, you know, from the brightness that I had in me because of continuous torture and targeting that did for so many years, because they were harvesting energy from me. One of these hidden elements is the harvesting of life force energy from, not really abductee, from any targeted individual, because I'm the one, by traumatizing them with fear, terror, pain, sexual violation, humiliation, or despair. Like I said, they made issue about my poop to fix my holes and all that. Isn't that part of humiliation? Yes. If they are sexually seducing me, isn't that part of sexual violation? Yes. The pain, all the cuts that they've given, all the electric shock that they are giving, or the pulling of eardrums, or ringing in my ears, or shooting needle pains in my abdomen, rectum, anywhere. Isn't that part of pain? Yes. Terror, with all the gang stalking, with the raving of the engine, too much loud noise that these people used to do at a particular time that I've recorded in so many of my videos before. Isn't that part of terror? And all of this was causing fear because I was all alone. Nobody was there to listen in my family member. When I'm showing them so many evidences from CIA's soul catcher book, from themselves telling, yes, we have the ability to move somebody's hand, and to FBI saying, yeah, we can make people fall asleep, to make them awake, to they can have all these cockroaches. Billy Crone pastor saying, yeah, they can have all the weird insect activities via witchcraft. Witchcraft is rising everywhere. They're showing in Hollywood, Democratic Party, or most of these, all Washington. Dr. Thomas Horn talks about Washington, D.C., how they are all into witchcraft, Freemasonic people. I'm showing evidence after evidence. This guy talks about the same thing. Tanutsudan talks about matrix simulation and the harvesting of the soul energy from the starseeds and targeted individuals. So they are already doing all this. Why? Because they want my energy. Negative emotions trigger a thick emission of subtle energy from the abductee that is then collected. So they are all the extreme torture that they gave me from 2014 onwards, especially. It was probably triggering so much of thick emission of my energy that they probably collected for their so-called aliens, greys, reptilians, or just whatever the negative entities they work with, okay? Grays nearby the abductee can function as siphons through which remotely interfaced reptilians can slurp up the energy. So somehow Grace is helping the reptilians to take up these energies. There are numerous ways to accomplish this, one being sham medical procedures, whose real purpose is to disempower and torment the abductee under the guise of necessary research. Most of this is covered up with layered screen memories of superficial positive experiences, whereby the abductee may have faint memories of being taken and have an irrationally wonderful feeling about it. Now, I don't have any of this, so I'm going to move on. Yet another method is to induce an atmosphere of fear in the life of the abductee. How? By gang stalking, by physical torture, by these ambulance sirens, firework sirens, the revving of the engine, all this BS, okay? And of course, to synchronize the accidents, the deaths in our family, everything, okay? Even that's part of all these. In a fear of being taken again, fear of having their children targeted, fear of creepy aliens skulking about the house at night. Now, I don't have that, but I told you what fears they've given to me. Abductee reports of being raped by reptilian entities are not uncommon. Yes, they've done the sexual rape with me, but it's kind of astral sex, as that black lady who had come on Anderson Cooper show on CNN said that yes, they have the technology to do astral sex via witchcraft. She said it, and this is exactly what was done with me, which would be a more direct method of harvesting energy and psychologically fracturing the abductee, because my severe sexual thing started in March 2022. It was a few months right after watching Almas Jacobs' video, because that's what I started watching, and I came to know about Illuminati, Freemasons, human sacrifice, the sexual perversion, all of that I came to know about after watching his videos. And in, I think, March to almost October, November, they did a little bit, I think maybe until October. And very rarely, now they don't do as much. Very rarely they sometimes do, not as much. But yeah, that is what they gave me for a short span of time. And yeah, but they used to give me zap in my vagina, which is zap is like, now that thing hurts because that is zap. That's different. Which would be more direct method of harvesting energy and psychologically fracturing the abductee. Now, I'm not abductee, or they might want to call me abductee in the sense that I'm under their control because I'm under witchcraft. So could be that, I don't know. Energy harvesting is not limited to abductee. It occurs on a global scale in a more horticultural manner, wherever there are clusters of emotionally charged situations releasing usable quantities of energy. Examples: large hospital, major sporting events, mega churches, natural disaster zones, event involving mass casualties, areas afflicted with war or starvation. This energy is used for nourishment and to power certain etheric technologies and interdimensional maneuvers. Some alien implants are powered by this energy, especially the etheric type of implants. And this is exactly what even David Icke talks about when he talks about archons, that they need energy from our world, these entities. And archons are kind of negative entities who run this matrix simulation. Okay, now they're giving me twitch on the right side. No. Either they don't want me to say that, or I don't know what the heck. But he's also Illuminati guy, so he talking all this, he's definitely putting out a lot of other reality or the truth out there in the guise of saying that, oh, he's not Illuminati guy, but actually he is. Some alien implants are powered by this energy, especially the etheric type of implants. Like any etheric thought form, they will go inactive if deprived of their energy source. Okay. This happens when one refuses to indulge in the particular base emotions sustaining these implants, which tend to be the same emotions encouraged by them. Alien implants are designed not just for remote monitoring purposes but also remote influencing. Physical implants in the brain can monitor thoughts and produce a disorienting effect when a forbidden line of thinking arises. They can record one's thoughts, feelings, perceptions for periodic analysis by alien observer. Like I said, I'm being monitored. They read my thoughts and then they act upon it when they give me physical torture, when they ask somebody to do raving of the engine or helicopter passing by or any other thing, okay? So they read my thoughts, feelings, perceptions, all of this, and it's done by some alien observer, and not alien observer, but CIA, FBI, whoever, all these DARPA people, Delta Force, military people. The data retrieved may indicate weaknesses, threatening trends, useful tendencies to make, and useful tendencies to take into account during further manipulations. Etheric implants can place anywhere depending on their function, including in the head to interfere with thoughts, the lower torso, or to jack into the lower chakras and manipulate base emotions. And so etheric implant, like I said, how they are giving me these shooting needle pin in my rectum, okay? So it's either voodoo that they are putting that pins in the etheric, or what is etheric implants? So they are not implants made of metals. Obviously it's witchcraft. There is some kind of entity that these people plant in everywhere in the body, or how, I don't know how many, because I heard even when they were doing black magic or removing black magic, I heard how from one person they had removed like 20, 30 spirits, or the negative entities from one person. So I don't know if they invoke all these spirits, so many of them, to and target at different body parts. I don't know how exactly the witchcraft or black magic works. Only those people would know. I don't know. I'm not into witchcraft and all that, but this is nothing but he's talking about pure witchcraft. Look up Billy Cron pastor, witchcraft, voodoo. He exposes, he keeps making videos, he exposes all these people, but he himself was a part of Illuminati, and so he was into witchcraft. So I don't think so he's into Jesus Christ. He's just there, just fooling people. But anyways, mind programming. Another prevalent but little discussed aspect of abductions is mind programming. The insertion of harmful post-hypnotic commands into abductees' subconsciousness. The command to forget an abduction, remember a screen memory. Now forget about abduction because I was never abducted. These commands are given while the abductee is an artificially induced hypnotic trance and can lie dormant in the subconscious until triggered hours, days, or weeks later to produce a strong compulsion to carry out the command. So like I said, my programming is two. One is sex programming, the other is slave programming. Okay, that is what they've done with me so far. And yeah, they do a lot of these triggers, oh no, here is the siren, or here is a little electric shock on your head. No, you're not supposed to do that. Oh, you are supposed to do this. You're supposed to be a slave. You're supposed to do this to your hubby, or you're supposed to behave like that, or that BS, okay? But am I giving myself into all these, their BS control and obey orders? Because if I don't give, then only I'm the winner. Or else they will keep harvesting my energy, okay? So this has to stop. They may also work continuously to bias thoughts, feelings, perceptions, reactions in a predetermined direction. The aim of mind programming is behavioral modification toward greater compliance with an agenda and greater submission to the abductors and mind programmers. And this is exactly what this guy, Dr. Richard Boylan, talks about. Okay, he is this behavioral scientist. Okay, when you look up his, you look up about Richard Boylan. Okay, this man talks about the star kids, and they need to, I'm the behavior scientist, behavior modification scientist, and I deal with a lot of star kids and this BS. These people are afraid of us because we have this source that this guy talks about. We have this source conscious energy, and these people need to harvest energy for their so-called aliens or interdimensional entities. And you can imagine they are saying right here that we are the threat to their UFO cover-up. The broad implications of training like Task Force Whitetail is that Cabal, drboylan.com/cabal.html, foresees and is actively planning for the day when the UFO cover falters and it's necessary to round up starseeds who could cause the Cabal trouble. These people fear us. They're telling you right here. And to interdict and subdue any star visitors who are on ground. Okay? Let's go back to here. So the aim of mind programming is behavioral modification toward greater compliance with an agenda and greater submission to the abductors and mind programmers. Alien post-hypnotic commands are given telepathically and come with non-verbal layers reinforcing the accompanying verbal command. In mind programming, desirable behaviors are induced. What is their desirable behaviors? Two. One is sex programming, the other is slave programming. That is their desirable behaviors, okay? That are induced and undesirable ones suppressed. Now, why so much slave programming? Because like Dr. Stephen Greer said, that these people who are targeted, they are tortured physically, mentally, and sexually for 15 years, 10 to 15 years. And then once that is over, then they are deemed as graduates. Graduates for what? So that these graduates will go out on the abduction mission in the UFO. They'll sit in the, UFO. They'll go on abduction mission and they'll go around abducting people for their, of course, alien agenda. It's obvious. Or Lucifer agenda, I should say, Lucifer agenda. So they are already, we know they are planning fake alien invasion before Jesus Christ comes. Because to them, Jesus Christ is the real alien. But before that, I think they are planning a fake alien invasion. And that is why these people are working for all this thing. Basically working for their Lucifer. The first induced obsession with disinformative ideas, intensely desire further abductions, falling into an artificially orchestrated relationship with an abductee and being compelled to rationalize away ideas that contradict the agenda. The second includes total loss of faith in pursuits that would have undermined alien control, becoming irrationally antagonistic and breaking relations with friends, having a strong aversion to a certain line of research, simply being struck with spells of forgetfulness or sleepiness when getting too close to forbidden territory. You see, the spells are casted, I told you, for forgetfulness and sleepiness. I told you how they can induce sleep. I'm telling all these people what these people have capability to do when you do witchcraft. And none of them want to listen to me.